Yes, you, watching this, watching me. Here's the question. When was the last time you had your skin checked for melanoma? And, well, here's another question. Do you protect your skin on days when the weather, well, when the weather's a little bit overcast, such as today? And do you think you're okay just because you don't have glorious pale, slightly freckled skin, such as mine? Let's have a look, shall we?
Nope, I've never had a skin check.
I have thought about getting skin checks before. Yeah, I suppose I just never really got around to it.
During the summer I do apply it to my body, but I don't apply it in winter. It's kind of bad.
I've got pretty dark skin, so I don't have too much to worry about.
Wear a hat. Is she wearing a hat today? No.
I don't get it. Kiwis love the outdoors, but have we got our heads in the sand when it comes to staying safe in the sun? New Zealand has the worst melanoma rate in the world. More than 4,000 New Zealanders are diagnosed with melanoma every year. More New Zealanders die from melanoma than on the roads. So what do? Well, maybe hearing the real stories of people who have got melanoma or have lost a loved one to it might be the wake-up call we need to start looking after the skin we're in.
Yeah, I've been told I've got months, a couple of months. So that's it. I was 40, maybe 41, and I had a mole on my neck that I'd noticed change, and I kept meaning to do something about it, but life's busy and never got there. I went through the process of finding out what it was, but pretty much everyone around me knew what it was at that stage. So we took the mole out and found out it was melanoma, which meant the lymph nodes was melanoma as well. So had those removed, had 19 or 20 lymph nodes removed through my neck, and then radiation on that, and then sort of went away for a while, and then in one of my regular checkups 2 years after that, they found that I had 20 tumours in my lungs. Just today, I've found out that it's back in the brain, and I've got another 6 or 8 tumours, and it's all turned bad on me. I knew the mole came up. It was like a pimple. It was a bit weird. A pimple that didn't go away, and then a pimple that turned into a mole. And you know, in hindsight, it's very easy to go, there we go. That was the time. And if I acted then, it was easy, and now there's nothing I can do. I'm married, I've got 3 young kids. They don't really understand at the moment, which is good. They don't need to worry about this sort of stuff. Yeah, financially it's all strange and difficult. Whether you work, whether you spend your time with your kids, take them out of school, all of it. Decisions no one should make. One thing nobody seems to understand is skin cancer or melanoma. They think it stays on your skin, and if you've got it, it's not a big deal, just cut it out, and then it's gone. Well, that's okay if you get it early, but if it goes into the blood, as it has with me, it's gone everywhere, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. So the golden message is check your moles every year. Go to a specialist, do what you do, but check them every year and get them cut out.
I remember just waking up at night thinking, I'm not going to have children, my life is going to be so much shorter, because you go through all those horrible things that can happen. And this is really something that if I'd been vigilant, I could have stopped. So I had it in my 20s because Mum, and she's got this big chunk out of her leg from her melanoma, she was fine. My uncle, my mum's brother, he died of melanoma a few years ago. And then just before lockdown, my mother was diagnosed with stage 2 melanoma on her leg. But the good news is that they got it all, once again, because she was vigilant and checked early. I'm a sailor, so always on the sea. I surf as well, so I'm around water all the time. My 3 kids have all been brought up around the water as well. wearing the full suits when they're little, which was easy, but as they get older, it's really hard to get kids into wearing the rash suits. And my kids know my story, they know my mum's story, they know my uncle's story. They will still go out and not wear coverage. They'll just be out in their shorts. Cover up, make sure that you don't get those really bad burns, because it used to be, I remember when I was a teenager, it was almost like a status symbol. If you got the bad burn, that you could peel all the skin off. And as much fun as that may be, it's not a good thing to get. So just trying to teach them that that's just so unhealthy and so bad for you, and it can kill you.
It was certainly a shock. No one in my family that I knew of had a melanoma. I was about to get married. I was in my first job out of varsity. You know, life was kind of crazy busy, and at the time, my soon-to-be husband pointed to a mole on my arm and just said, "That's really," well, it wasn't even a mole, just a freckle on my arm, saying, "That's really dark."
You know, I think it was just something I maybe hadn't noticed before, but all of a sudden it sort of alarmed me, the fact that maybe the dean should possibly get it looked at.
Went to the doctor, she said, "Oh, okay, we'll just take it off, get it tested," and then it was only a couple of days later, I got the phone call, "You need to come back in." I was like, "I don't need to come back in until Friday to get the stitches out." They're like, "Oh no, we need to speak to you before then," and sort of, yeah, that's when the bombshell hit that it's a melanoma.
When the operation was done and then the news came out, a huge sense of relief, but also a realisation that it was a really good thing that we'd done. You know, it can happen to anybody at any age, at any time.
I feel so terrible when I think back about my relationship with the sun, and no wonder I got a melanoma. Oh my goodness, I was an outdoorsy person, which is great, but I took very little protection in the sun. My kids just know in summer you wear sunscreen, you know, if we are at the beach, we take an umbrella, just all those little things that you just have to, it becomes habit.
Dad put it off for a very long time, getting checks, always refused to get them until it was basically too late. Since then, it's just been the family sort of trying to gather themselves and stay connected when such a massive part of our family was missing. I think having a daughter has really brought it home for me that, as sad as it is to say, I would love to live longer than my father did, because there's so much that he's missed out on that he doesn't know about, that I can see now, and I do not want to miss out on that in my life. If you think something's changed, get it looked at. It's not something that you're bigger than. You can't overcome it without knowing about it first.
I am part Māori, I am tan. I'm not even in the demographic, apparently, when my plastic surgeon talked to me of getting skin cancer. While I was pregnant with my second child, I noticed there was a mole on my back that had become a little bit itchy. But, you know, being pregnant, I was a bit busy. I kind of just left it for a bit. And then my husband actually noticed it had become quite raised. It was quite dark and it was very irregular in size, which I know now are all indicators that potentially it was, you know, not looking good. On speaking to the plastic surgeon, he started talking about the urgent need for surgery, the depths that would need to be removed down my back, and then started talking about life expectancy for me for out to 5 years, which was extremely confronting because we, up to that time, had thought it was pretty tickety-boo. Fast forward from there, 6 monthly checks with the oncologist for a year. They all came out clear. So, carried on with life until I had a lump come up quite rapidly on my back. The tumour was so large beside my spine, it was inoperable. My next step was the introduction of immunotherapy. It wasn't too unpleasant experience. I enjoyed meeting the new people, and it became a rhythm because I did 21 infusions in total. I do believe it will come back. My big goal was I was going to be here for my 50th birthday. So that's my next goal, and I plan on being here, and I don't see why I shouldn't. So I'm just really positive. I just sort of think, well, at the end of the day, what will be, and you know, I'll be here at 80. Watch the space. So yeah, come back, interview me then.
Please understand that these people are very generously sharing their stories so that you don't have to go through what they've been through. And there are some very simple ways to help prevent melanoma. Slip on some sun-smart gear, slop on some sunscreen, slap on a hat, seek shade, and slide into some sunglasses. And check your skin regularly, especially if you have any spots that are new or changing. Because if recognised and treated early enough, melanoma is almost always curable. So please, do it for yourself, do it for your friends, do it for your whānau. Because we like having you round.